Welcome to our second edition to our Thunderbird podcast here with Harvesting Wisdom, host Mike McMahon. I got 4 people here that we're going to talk to: Germany, Colombia, and 2 Zimbabweans. So, I don't know, is that correct? Zimbabwean? Is there another one to describe that isn't this Zimbabweans? Yeah, okay. So, go ahead and just tell us your names.
Cool. My name is Santiago. I'm originally from Colombia, Medellin, and I'm a master student in global management with a concentration in digital transformation.
Great.
I'm Wilfred Kangetsambo from Zimbabwe. I'm a student in Thunderbird. I'm pursuing a master's in global management as well with concentration in global business.
Okay.
I'm Ella. I'm from Germany, and I'm also a student at Thunderbird, doing my master's of global management with the concentration in global business.
Okay.
My name is Gim Zinjavo. I'm from Zimbabwe. I'm a master's student here at Thunderbird. I'm graduating in December. Yeah, and I'm excited about that. And my background is in marketing and education. So, yeah, okay.
So cities, Medellin, what, are you from Harare or from Bulawayo or from a village someplace?
When I came to Zimbabwe, I was based in Harare. But growing up, my dad was in the army. So we moved around a lot of cities. So I was born in Mashingo, grew up in Gweru and Harare. Then I moved to Harare when I was independent.
Okay. It's almost like completely different places as you're traveling. How about you?
I grew up in Bulawayo.
Bulawayo.
Yeah.
I can never pronounce it good.
Yeah.
Bulawayo.
Yeah.
Bulawayo. Bulawayo.
Yeah.
I've been corrected. But great town. And one of the things we do on our trip, have you been to the museum, the science museum down there? It's the Natural History Museum, I think.
Yes.
One of the things we do on the eco tour is people first fly over. You got to go through usually Joburg and you come in, but everybody's beat up a little bit for a day or two. So we take people into Bulawayo and have a meal or two right in town. But also there's a little store there where you can get handmade shoes and belts. I got safari gear. So I tell people, don't buy anything here at RBI. Yeah. Get the real stuff there. Get buffalo, get crocodile, whatever you might fancy, but way higher quality and practical. So we do that for a while. We do the ruins. There's 3 sets of ruins nearby. We do the seed bank. We've got Arnold has 2,500 acres, and we're looking at his farm to design his farm, so that's part of a project. And then we go to either end to a safari on either side, and one of them has that the rewilding on the conservation area. And if you haven't been to that corner of the country, it's got those big stacks of rocks, and it feels like you're in Jurassic Park, and it's like an amazing place. So now, Germany.
Yes.
Okay. Frankfurt. So we were just there doing a podcast, I think last year. Where did you travel? So you're a European, so you've been everywhere in Europe, right?
Yeah, and I mean the US. Growing up, my family has some connections in Kenya, so I also went to Kenya.
Oh, great.
Which was really cool.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. But yeah, Europe and the US mostly.
Okay, good. So you still have to go to Asia,
Yes.
Southeast Asia,
Yes.
Central Asia. You got a lot of...
Full of Asia, yeah.
And you really haven't... The biggest thing is Africa, right? If you went to Kenya, which is phenomenal. Kenya is kind of like almost like a resort town, though, compared to a lot of other places in Africa. We see a big difference in countries. Some countries, small population, and they have oil, and they do just fine. And some have a larger population, and and they don't have natural resources or much help. So there's different things going on. But you know, going on back there for the summer, you would have to go back probably 50 times. There's 54 countries, right? You'd have to go back almost that many times to really get the feel for what's going on.
Sounds good.
Hopefully that's something that interests you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I remember, and I got a little bone to pick with the Chinese and the Germans, because I was in engineering school way back when, and Richard Nixon was the president at the time, and he let in the Chinese. I said he let them in, and they all went to my school. So between the Germans and the Chinese, you know, my great, they had it on a curve, and all of a sudden I was at the bottom of the curve, you know. And the thing I didn't like about the Germans is you could drink beer all night with them, and they'd still get an A on the end. So it's a different way of looking at your country, I guess. So what? Tell me a little about your journeys to get here. You guys are not straight out of maybe you are. Are you straight out of college, and or did you do some other work before you came here? It seems like nowadays to get into these bigger professions. My daughter's a doctor. She's one of the few that went straight from school to med school. It seems like most of her friends spent 5 years doing something else, you know, working in an ambulance or doing something. How about you guys? Did you come directly here, or did you do something else?
So my background is in marketing. So I did my bachelor's back in Colombia in journalism, and I have like 10 years of experience working for mostly tech companies, startups. I also work for one of the biggest social media networks in the world. I won't say their name, but I did work for them.
They would probably bleep it out.
Yeah. So I basically came here because I'm in search of a mission. Like I'm done like working to do profit for companies, and I do want to make something that's important for the world. I don't know what yet, but yeah, that's what I'm here for.
So, you know, strap in. How about you?
I have an accounting background. I did a bachelor's in accounting in Zimbabwe. I did a master's in accounting in Zimbabwe. Then I started working, mostly I worked for a regional company. Then when I left Zimbabwe, I was a finance manager for a healthcare institution. I have 14 years experience in the healthcare sector.
So what drove you to, you know, leave the continent and come here and pursue this degree? What's the ambition?
I'm in pursuit of an international exposure. So while I was working, me and my family, we actually do farming. We have a farm about 120 kilometers out of Harare.
What are you growing?
Sorry?
What are you growing?
So the area is in Chivu. It doesn't rain a lot. So basically they just do cattle.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's mostly what...
Is it grassland or a bush?
It is actually a grassland.
Okay. Yeah. So it's rain fed.
It's rain fed. We've got a small little dam close by. It actually needs a lot of development. So lucky to announce that you're working with in Zimbabwe. But a bit of history on that farm. My grandfather was on it since I think the 1960s.
Wow.
Then when he died, my uncles then took over. My father had already passed. So it's kind of run down a little, but my generation is now coming into just to take over and try to resuscitate it. And everyone is chuffed about it.
You know, we have Peter Beck, who was the filmmaker here at ASU. I don't know if he's at this campus or Tempe, has a film series on regenerative farming, but it's cattle. And he's taken 4 or 5 states in southeastern the U.S. where he has compared neighbors. One that's doing the regenerative, which is pasture management. It's moving the cattle from place to place to place. And then the next door neighbor is using traditional farming, and the traditional farms have degraded, whereas the biology and the grasslands and everything is better. They can grow, they can have more animals on board, and they have, the animals are bigger. Using this method, they're talking about that same pasture management when we're in Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and Mongolia. So going to this film festival, it'd be one of the things to look at, because it'd be, again, just a technique to take home. But reality is it started in Africa, down in South Africa, back around that same time in the 60s. There's a couple of famous guys who did the same thing. They learned how to work land management and how to work the land, so they were able to accomplish the farmer goal, which is making money and having a healthier cattle, but they were able to regenerate the land at the same time. So, having coming, not just going to the film festival and watching a lot of films, but you guys can, if you got volunteered, hopefully you'll meet some of these directors and writers and people from different parts of the world to see it. Okay, your journey.
So my background is in social work, and I did my bachelor's in Germany, and then worked for 8 years in child welfare and disability sector. And I came here because I realized that in the client direct work, there's not just so much you can do, and I always wanted to improve and change the system, not change the system, but change the company. And I always had these ideas, and they were like, yeah, that's nice, but we're not, we're overwhelmed, we can't do that, we're just trying to get by, and that's not who I am, that's not that. Yeah, so I'm a long-term visionary, and so that's why I'm here, to connect that, or to find a different path, or more on the management side of things for NGOs.
If Joe's not able to bring you in, he's not going to stay on board long. But how about you?
After my first degree, I was called into lectureship, basically, by the university where I did my first degree. Actually, I started as a teaching assistant, then went into lectureship after completing my master's. Then I spent time in lectureship for about 10 years, I think, 11 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 2 years as a teaching assistant, then 11 years as a lecturer. But also on the side, I did do consultancy work for non-governmental organizations, for the local government, in particular the city of Bulawayo City Council. It was when I did consultancy, especially for the non-governmental organizations, working with people on the ground, meeting, addressing their needs, talking to them, engaging them, that I realized that community development, NGO work was more for me than education, where I was formerly employed. At that point, I started chartering a way to transition from academia into development work. Then I came across Thunderbird. Then when I read what that degree offered, I said, this is what I want. Then I came here.
Interesting, but it sounds like kind of a theme. And I really embrace that theme, that if you come straight from an undergraduate degree, you really still don't know what you want to do.
Yep.
Or more importantly, what you do want to do. And so coming here and doing a global degree kind of opens your mind and to get your eyes to different things. So it's great with you guys, talking with you guys, because I think part of the mission of what we have, I look at urban farming education as, I want to kind of move to the background. We have to promote it with the harvesting wisdom and with books and things like that, but what it really is it's a nonprofit platform that anyone can take and do their thing. You can, if you resonate with some of the things, we've got a lot of different programs, but if you resonate with some of the things we have, you can take it and take all the research and the connections and everything we've done and employ that, anywhere you want on the planet. And again, you got to support your families, you got to make money, you got to be part of the rat race, whatever. But it's not mutually exclusive. I think you're still able to do other things without as much effort as people think. Most of us just kind of walk away and say, well, it's too overwhelming, right? But there's some simple solutions that have impact on people and on community on a daily basis. And if we as a community, worldwide community, can embrace this, we don't really need politicians to help even facilitate it. And I think it becomes a groundswell of people who want to make a change, either with society, with the way people are being treated, or with the environment. Especially some solutions just make sense that there's no confrontation. Why not do it? And a lot of it has to do with just the will, our collective will to do things. So again, look forward to hearing from all of you. Once you read what we have, and I say this all the time, once you see it, you can't unsee it. So take a look at some of the programs and let us know, because we are constantly needing leaders to come in and help take something over, and that's what, I explain my approach. If you're going to do something, then get up there and be the one sitting on stage. Get up there and put your input in and get involved. So hopefully you guys are part of that. We hope that with enough business leaders coming and sponsor, that we will have some scholarship money as well to help people defer their costs to maybe take a trip like this. We right now are focused on Zimbabwe, but we'll probably be doing something in Malawi. And that's a little more of a less of a vacation than more of a working trip than Zimbabwe would be, I think. And then we're still kind of toying with the idea of Central Asia. Central Asia, Kyrgyzstan is just all mountains. It's gorgeous. It's just an amazing place. And it's the same thing with, they're kind of nomadic, and they're raising cattle, but they go from low elevation to high elevation and moving cattle through their herds. So it's a big world out there, as you know. And how about you guys how long what poll is this? It's usually a master's degree is like 2 years.
Yep. Yeah. Those 2 years.
So is this the end of 2 years for you guys, or the beginning?
The beginning.
We're at different stages.
Yeah.
I'm graduating in 2 months, I think.
And I think for all of us, it's the first semester.
First semester.
Okay. So you got a summer to play around a little bit. Yeah. So that's great. So, well, I appreciate you being here, and hopefully we see your faces more, and you can pick what you want to be involved with, and we're right here by the theaters, the science center, everything that we're doing in Phoenix is right here, and the rest is along the light rail. So that'll be the film documentary series, but we need as many people as we can, because we do want to make this, we want to put ourselves on the map with this. We think that we can be equal to, if not the number one environmental film festival in the country this year. And that's, not this year, but 2026, it's only 5 months away. But to do it, we need lots and lots of help and a lot of people to get involved. So hopefully you guys are part of that. And Joe's got a pretty good program for the Eco Tour. The first one is Zimbabwe, and we'll see if you can be part of it. So thanks again for being here.
Thank you.
And you're breaking.
Put it over.
Thank you for joining the Harvesting Wisdom podcast. Click subscribe and like for ongoing insightful conversations. Explore our webpage for show notes and additional resources. Visit our guests' webpage for deeper insights. Your engagement is the foundation of our journey, and until next time, keep pursuing wisdom.